I am someone who loves to make my own things. And not to mention, January was a no spend month for me. So I ended up making my own cash stuffing binder. This is a little flip through of what I decided to make. So if you are interested in making your own, then keep on watching. I am in love with how this turned out, and so I'm excited to share with you how I ended up making this. The materials that you will need to make your own DIY cash savings binder is going to be laminating sheets as well as a laminator, a way of cutting, so a cutting system like this, or scissors, a ruler, and then you will also need a pen to make your marks to know where to cut, and a hole punch. So I'm using the Discbound system, so I have this disc cutting like mushroom hole punch as well as the discs, but you could just use a regular hole punch and binder. The first thing you'll need to do is determine what size you want your binder to be. I did mine similar to a A6 size. So the width of mine is 4¼ inches, 4.25, and then the height of mine is 6.9 inches. So that is roughly what mine is. So I created this size. The size of my pocket is 3½ inches wide by 6¼ inches tall. I also decided to make 2 pocket sheets where I can do a 31-day savings challenge, or maybe a 52-week, however I decide to do it. That way I can get 2 savings areas in one sheet. So these pockets are 3.5 inches, 3½ inches wide by 2¾ 2.75 inches tall, and that is the size of each of these pockets. So you would just need to decide what size you want to do, and then figure out the layout of how to cut it out on your laminating sheet. So like I mentioned, I cut my pocket size 3½ by 6.25, and then 3½ by 2.75. Have already cut out a few pockets. Please leave me a comment below if you would like to see my process for cutting out the pockets out of the laminating sheets. I am happy to do a short video for that, but I don't want to waste your time on just showing you how to cut out pages, from laminating sheets. So once you have your pockets cut out, we are going to get ready to laminate them. So the first thing that you need to know is that the pockets, if you put your pocket straight into your laminating pouch like this, you're just going to have one really big thick laminated sheet of nothing. So in order to do this, you have to flip your pocket inside out. And the way to know that you have it correct is that your 2 sheets will slide super easily, but if you do not have it the correct way, they will not slide at all. They're kind of grippy on the inside. So let's see, let's get the dog hair out. Okay, so we have it slippery, so we're good. Now, I am a sort of perfectionist, and this is where the ruler comes in. I have my laminator heating up there. So I am a sort of perfectionist, and like I said, this is where the ruler comes in for me. So I want my sheets to be as close as possible to the same size. So I'm just going to line it up here, and I am going to mark the edge and mark 4 1/4 because that is the total size of my binder sheet. And then I'm just going to do that once again because we can fit 2 sheets, or like 2 binder sheets on the same laminating sheet. Okay. And now that I have that done, I will go ahead and flip it over so that way my marks are on the like table side, not the flipped over side. So I'm going to see, it's all like sticking together, it won't come apart, so that's the wrong way. We're gonna flip it over, and then I am going to, another thing to note is that you need to put your pocket on the edge, because in order to make the pocket, we are going to cut right on the edge so that way it opens up that pocket. If you have it where your like your cutout sheets are in the middle, you're not going to get the right size of like sheet like this that you want. So we're going to put that right on the edge, and then the 2 pocket one. And so for this, I believe I had them where they had about a little less than 1/2 of an inch apart. So I'm just going to slide that right in there. Flip these around so they slide all around. And again, line it up with the edge. I almost didn't do that. And I am trying to get these as like level as possible with each other. So once you feel like you have that lined up how you should and your laminator is hot, then you can just send this one through. I will move this over so you can see. So we are going to send this right through. Just make sure that you have enough room on both sides of your laminator for the sheet to come through without bending. Okay. So now we are going to take our handy dandy cutting implement, and we are just going to cut on those marks to make it 4 1/4 wide. And when you do this, you should now have an open pocket, and we just have to now cut it to the correct length. Okay, so we're gonna cut this one out. So here we go, one pocket and two pockets, and that's one of the reasons that you really want to have them lined up well, so that way when you make one cut, you get the both pockets opened. All right, so now we have them to the correct width. Now we just need to measure out the height. So I'm going to pull back out my ruler. And I am just going to mark roughly about 6.9 inches. So I'm just going to do like that. I want my pocket to be roughly in the middle, so I am going to cut off of both sides on this one. Alright, so now I am just cutting off the excess. So now this one is to the correct size. And so is this one. So now we will hole punch them and get them ready to go into our binder. So I'm just going to stick it in my hole punch. And you just have to be careful sometimes, especially with these mushroom ones, the laminating part does not like to punch out as well as it should, but it will do it. And now I can just pop it in my binder like that. And then you can easily pull it out if you need to. So let's go ahead and do the next one. So here are our two final sheets that we made today. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I have not created anything to put into these two pockets yet, but I have created a freebie. So if you have watched one of my first videos, I said that my medical savings was one thing that I wanted to build up this year to have in case we have any medical emergencies. And so I am just going to go ahead and slide this right in here and place it in the back of my binder. So if you would like to pick up the Medical Savings Challenge card, I have that available. It is linked in the description. It comes in a pack of 3. It is a medical savings, emergency savings, and a fun Bible verse savings challenge. They are all available for free. So please give that a So please, if you would like to pick this up, go check out the link in the description, and I will see y'all again next week. Bye, guys.